Coming up next, how an addiction to praise can really mess you up and what to do about it. And then the 3 R's that reveal a healthy culture. And we take your calls. It starts right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and then how to get there. It is about your why in and at work. You were created to work because we all long to contribute and make a difference. So we were actually created to work and generate a result that makes the world a better place. So if you believe that's true, you know how valuable you are then. No matter what's been said or done to you, if you were created to fill a unique role, you are needed and you must do it. I don't think it's an option to live a life that's on purpose. And we're going to look at the work aspect of it. Now, we talk about relationships with spouses, with family members, as you have to make decisions and do things that those folks will have an opinion about. And it matters. Their opinion matters, sometimes too much. 844-747-2577 is the phone number to jump in. It's a toll-free number, 844-747-2577. While you're watching the show, if you're enjoying it, hit that little thumbs up button there below the video window and subscribe and share while you're there. The show is growing, and we want folks on YouTube to know that there's a positive and hopeful and practical show about your life and your work. And it's a caller-driven show. You can call in and actually get help right now. You have the answers. It's my job to get them out of you. 844-747-2577. All right, our team is always perusing resources and articles and data and studies and thus and thus and thus. And so we like to share that with you to start the show. This is a very interesting article that we ran across from Inc.com, how praise addiction can really mess up your career. And I don't really want to go into the article because there's some of it that honestly I think is a little much. I'm not 100% in line with a lot of the stuff in it, but this idea of, are we addicted to praise? I think it's a really good question. And as a parent of 3, I'm a Gen Xer. The world has changed a lot from when I grew up, in the sense that when I grew up, we kept score in youth sports. We just did. Not everybody played equal time. I know this is a shock to a lot of you millennials and mosaics. When I played youth sports, brace yourself, even in youth sports, you had to earn your playing time. If you were really little, and I was, you didn't play that much. Because, don't anybody freak out here, back when I was a kid, the point of even youth sports was to win the game. I know. Barbaric. Insensitive times. I know, but I survived. Okay, I made it through, and I wasn't scarred for life. Obviously, I hope you understand I'm being tremendously sarcastic. Well, we live in a day and age where I have to say that too. The point of any game is to win. When we sit down for family game night, if anybody still does that, we still do that. It's kind of fun. When I'm playing Uno, I want to win. So why do we play games? It's to win. We like competing. Now, I understand if you're playing your little toddler in a game and you beat them every time. You know, some people don't like that. I let my kids win a few times early on. I'm okay with that. I don't think I've short selling them. I'm not that, caveman dad who thinks, you punish your kids in every competition until they finally beat you. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you if you do that. I haven't chosen to do that. But the point is, back then, we played to win the game. They kept score, and the best kids played. And then if you weren't the best kid, you either went on to something else that you were really good in, which that ends up being a gift, or you get better and you earn playing time. That's what happened to me. First time I played soccer, I was 7. I looked like a 4-year-old. I was so little. I had to get better, and I had to get bigger. And when I got better and bigger, I played a lot more, and I made the travel team, and it became one of my favorite sports. Same thing with basketball. I was little. I had to earn it. Okay, here's my point. Over time, we saw the removal of keeping score because we didn't want these kids' feelings to get hurt, that you lost the game. We wanted to remove that, as opposed to going, that pain of losing is wonderful. So we removed scores, and then we said, everybody's got to have equal playing time because we don't want somebody's feelings to be hurt. So everybody got equal playing time. And then, and these are all happening at the same time, I'm just kind of putting them out in this order, then we started giving everybody a trophy. Everybody got a trophy. So there was no difference in the minds of the kids who won the championship or won the game because everybody got rewarded. And you're going, oh, Ken, you're so old school. No, I'm not. I'm not saying any of this is right or wrong. I'm simply saying this is what has happened. So don't get so offended. This is what happened. And so those changes led to this parenting style where we're praising our kids all the time. Praising. And we're all about helping our kids feel good instead of teaching them how to do good. Very big difference. But by the way, in my experience, when I do something good, I feel good. But if we're always making people feel good and there's no effort, there's nothing produced in order to receive said praise, we're creating generations of people that are addicted to praise. And I thought this part of the article, I thought was very good. So, all right, I went on a rant, but it's good for you folks. I'll land the plane quickly. In the article, it had 3 questions, kind of a quick quiz. Are you addicted to praise? Here they are. When someone at work gets publicly recognized for their efforts, do you get jealous? Are you in a bad mood the rest of the day thinking about when the last time you got publicly recognized? Uh-oh. Second question, when your boss provides constructive criticism on some work, I would call that instruction. Do you immediately get defensive and shut down? Third question, when it comes to your career progression, do you think I'm not doing any more work than what is expected of me? Ooh. So you're only going to do what you get praised for. Ask yourself those questions. You might be addicted to praise, and that's going to kill your progress. Really good stuff there. A lot to think about. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's go to the phones. Joe is joining us in Detroit, Michigan. Joe, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how's it going? I appreciate your time, sir.
Well, Joe, I'm living the dream. What's going on with you?
Awesome. All right, so I want to run something through with you. So I'm a 24-year-old engineer in the automotive industry up here.
Okay.
My career goal is to work in the motorsports industry.
Okay.
So last March, before the shutdowns occurred, I was in the process of being hired by this race team in North Carolina.
Okay.
But they got put on a hiring freeze due to the uncertainty of the times. So fast forward to now, a race team in California has reached out to me and has offered me a position with them. So before I made any decisions, I reached back out to the North Carolina team, and they're still interested in hiring me, but still on this hiring freeze. So my end goal is to move to North Carolina, but since that's not on the table currently, I was wondering, is it really worthwhile to take this job in California, which is a state that I might not really care to move to, but it could propel my career, farther and closer to this position that's in North Carolina.
I agree. Well, let's look at it.
Looking to get your insight.
So we have a job on the table right now from a California motorsports team. It's ready to go.
Correct.
All right. So let's look at the income. Can you live comfortably in California on that offer?
I believe so. All
right. So that's the simple math. Is this going to make sense financially? You don't want to be behind the 8 ball, but if you feel like you can live comfortably there, that's great. I'm guessing 2 different motorsports, correct? 2 different things. So we've got NASCAR. I'm a big NASCAR fan, by the way. And I know a bunch of people down there in the NASCAR industry, a bunch of them. So we're looking at NASCAR. Is that right, in North Carolina?
That's correct.
Versus what's the sport in California?
It'll be IndyCar racing.
Yeah, I like that. Those are so good in the sense of they're in the same space, different sport, but I love that. Well, here's the bottom line. You don't know when the North Carolina team is going to lift their freeze, A. B, even if they did lift the freeze, they're interested in you, but there's not a position, at least that I know of, we're not sure if that position would be offered to you right away anyway, even if they lifted the freeze. So there's so much up in the air there that to get in the industry, if this is a forward move for you in California and you can live on it, go.
Awesome.
Because here's why. Now you get out of the auto industry and now you're in the racing industry. So that's getting in. You know, that's really stage 4 in my 7 stages. Stage 1 is get clear. You're already clear. Stage 2 is get qualified. You are. Stage 3 is get connected. You are. Stage 4 is get started. This is the opportunity to cross over and move from one industry into the next. And again, if financially it's viable for you, absolutely, I take it. And you go and you bust it and you crush it. And you really, you know your role, accept your role, maximize your role. You go above and beyond. You keep your connections in NASCAR in Charlotte. And now you're even more valuable because you've been on an IndyCar team. And there's no problem if they call 6 months from now and say they want you. If it's the right move. That's professional sports. Nobody looks down on that in professional sports. So go to California and you're there for a season. You know you're not going to be there long term. Who cares? You're in. I think this fast forwards your career, as you said. I think it's a no-brainer. Am I missing anything?
No, you hit it. You hit it spot on. It just makes more sense when you say it.
Well, no, just because I'm objective and I'm outside of your head, which is great. I love that you called, and I got to tell you something, man. I'm proud of you. Absolutely take this gig. Absolutely. IndyCar, come on, man.
I appreciate that, sir.
All right,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Proud of you. Take it. Don't even think twice about it. Let's go to Susie, who is on the line in Fort Collins, Colorado. Susie, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet, Susie. What's going on?
So right now I am a bus driver with the school district, and I'm about to take my real estate test and pass it. And I'm a little apprehensive because I need a job, a salaried position to keep my income going. Mm-hmm. I'm burned out with bus driving, and I just don't want to do it hand in hand with real estate.
Got it.
So I'm reaching out for any suggestions you might have as to how I could possibly go about this next career move.
Yeah. So the goal is to be full-time real estate, correct?
I would like to, yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
I read your book, and, sales and helping people, that is my sweet spot.
Good. No. I'm not trying to make you question it. I'm just simply saying the goal has always been for you to do that full time, and then you would retire from that. Correct? That's the goal.
Okay. Correct.
All right,
correct.
so,
I'm 55, and I've got 10 more years left, and I call this my fourth quarter career.
I love it. What do you make right now? What's been your average salary or your income the last couple of years? Just ballpark figures.
Well, it's very low. I make almost $22 an hour with bus driving, but with Corona and everything, our hours are cut down, and I bring home about $1,500 a month.
Okay, so here's the good news with that. Are you single income, double income? There's some really good news here. You're double. So you and your hubs, you don't need that income. It's just extra, or do you need that $1,500 a month?
No, we need that income.
Okay. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
All right. So let me help you. All right. So the great news is that's not a lot of income. And you're going, Ken, why is that great news? It's great news because in real estate, you can get there pretty quickly and past that. I mean, you start looking at let's just run the numbers here. I'm sure you've done this. What's the average home price sale in Fort Collins? Do you have any idea?
Probably about $400,000 or $500,000.
Yeah. What's your commission on
that? Well, $400,000.
Yeah, let's call it 4. We could even go as low as 3. It's fine for example purposes. And so you look at your commission. The lowest commission you're going to make on that is what? 3%? If you split commission with another agent?
3, and then you've got your broker, so maybe let's just say 2.5, maybe.
All right, so you start playing with those numbers. $1,500 a month. You're going to be able to do that once you get going. And here's what I know about real estate: at some point, you're going to have to commit all into it.
Right.
So what you've got to do is, I know you're burned out on the bus. So one of the options, you asked me for a path of ideas. Here's the idea. We want to get you out of the bus pretty soon and get you into just a steady day job, even if it's an hourly job, but we get you out of the bus and something a little bit more stable, a little bit more enjoyable. But we're only there for a small amount of time. Now, you will determine the amount of time, okay, Susie? Because the amount of time is, I've got to get a better paying job than the $1,500 a month, and I'm going to save up. I'm going to work my fanny off, and I'm going to save up enough money that I've got 3 to 6 months of my current income, which is $1,500 a month. That's as low as you guys can go, but you've been doing it. You've proven that you can do that. So let's just say you save up 10 grand. All right. That's about 6 months. You still tracking with me?
Got it.
Okay. That would give you this breathing room to go all in on real estate. So you'd walk away from whatever day job you're in and you'd go full-time real estate. That would give you 6 months. Okay. 6 months to start producing income. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way you're going to have to go about it. That's the safest way, to have no interruption in income. So you guys have saved up your income. It allows you to go after it, and you get to bet on yourself. And I like that bet. You're going to win because you don't have to sell a house in your first month or your second month or even your third month. But you could be building that pipeline in months 4, 5, and 6. You might sell 2 or 3 houses, and the commission from that alone is going to be way better than what you've been making. Now you're off and running.
We're eye to eye. I could see that happening.
I know it'll happen.
Just, I've got to find that job.
Yeah, but those jobs are there because it's just a fun. You could go be an administrative assistant, or you could go, work at a home improvement store or whatever. Whatever you can do, go do it, and it gives you 40 hours a week is what we want. And ideally, somewhere in that same price range. But a dependable person like you who's been trusted to drive kids around on a school bus, there's a lot of things you can do. Work those relationships, the proximity principle. It's all about connections. Hey, look, I'm looking for a job that's paying in that $20 to $22 an hour, and get after it. And, if you got to do 2 jobs, this is the key to your transition. And here's what's great. You're saying 10 years. Here's the reality. You could get 10 years from now, and you've done very well financially as a real estate agent. And then you could go, I'm not going to keep doing it to the extent that I was doing it, but I'm going to futz around. And if I've been selling 30 houses a year, I'm just going to sell 15. And it's just fun money in retirement. You're really retired, but every once in a while you sell a house. I just think this is such a great decision for you. But all you've got to do is math, Susie. That's it. This is a math thing. And I told you what to consider. I don't care how you get to the sum, solve the problem. And what we've got to do is we got to solve the income problem, okay, and get us positioned to where you can go full time. Now, here's what I want to tell you that I didn't tell you. While you are working that new day job that's going to pay you better and not be as miserable as driving the bus, you can still be doing part-time work as a real estate professional. You could still show a house or 2 at nights and weekends. You're not going. I've talked to some real estate experts, and they say eventually you got to go all in. But you can go part-time to get yourself up and going. You might sell a house or 2 to actually speed up that savings process. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it sounds great.
You got this, Susie. This isn't hard. This isn't hard. This is, it's going to be hard work, but the solution is not complex. It's pretty simple. So now just get after it. Don't look back. Burn the ships.
Exactly.
Come on, Susie. You got this, don't you?
I know. I'm a little apprehensive here, but the reason I made the call was to get that
Susie,
boot kick. And
I got one more question. You're not answering it. I want you to answer it how you know I want you to answer it. Susie, do you have this or not? You got this?
I do have it.
Come on. Go, Susie. Go. At some point we get to the end of the call. I've already coached. This isn't about coaching anymore. This is about cheerleading. And folks, you got to get to the point where you go, all right. And again, whether you call me or not, but Susie got to the point where she goes, okay, you're right. We see eye to eye. You know she said that? She had already thought through that. She just wanted to bounce it off of me. I'm the bartender minus the drinks. Once we get clear, let's go. Start into stage 2, get qualified. She's about ready to finish stage 2. Once you get qualified, and even starting now, get connected. And then stage 4. This is where it all counts, Joe. We got to get started. You can be clear, crystal clear. It's one of my favorite lines from A Few Good Men. Are we clear? Jack Nicholson says to Tom Cruise's character, and he goes, crystal. That's what I want for you folks, to get clear. But here's the deal. Joe, you know this. You can be crystal clear, and you can actually be qualified, and you can be connected. But some of you are stuck right there. You're in stage 3, and you're just like looking around. Oh, it's scary. Oh, gosh, it's scary. Come on, start. You got to step out. And I know it's scary. Believe me, I know. And I just think there's some people that need to call in the show. If you don't get in today, you can call. You don't get in this hour, you can keep calling. We got the Sirius XM and radio hour. Come on. Joe, I feel there's some people out there that are right there. They've never heard of stage 1, 2, and 3 until they listen to this show. But they're right there and they need to start. And I'm telling you, you got to step out. You got to do it. Joe was with me when I showed up that first time to do a radio show, and I was so freaking nervous. I didn't have any spit in my mouth. It was just like my lips were stuck together. Heart pounding. I got to fill an hour of radio, and I've never done it in my life. Folks, I know what you're feeling. I do. I've been there many times. First time I ever speak to 12,000 people. Ooh, let me just tell you. I mean, it's just like your body's spasming. You're freaking out from anxiety. I get it. But I'm telling you, it's so invigorating to just step out and deal with it. Know that I'm still alive. And then you go, oh, I am alive. I can do this again. I can do it better. And we keep going and we keep going and we keep going and we keep going. And eventually we get promoted. That's that beautiful stage 5. And each time we step into new promotions in that get promoted stage, it's going to feel scary. And we keep stepping and we keep climbing. And eventually we get the dream job. That's why we're doing all this. It's worth it. 844-747-2577. Quick break. When I come back, and I mean quick break, don't go anywhere. I'm going to teach on the 3 R's. A lot of people go, Ken, how do I know if a company's healthy, if it's a good culture? I'm going to give you the 3 R's to look for and to confirm. That and more. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, welcome back. We're going to get to our Momentum Monday segment where we have a couple of updates from you, the people. I love these, where you email us or at ask@kencoleman.com, or you'll go to our social media sites. We're on Facebook, search The Ken Coleman Show, or at Ken Coleman on Instagram. And I love these little momentum updates, so we'll get to that in just a moment. I want to go to the chat room. Let's go to Isia. I hope I'm saying that right. Hall. Boy, another question on perfectionism. How do you get over perfectionism? I answered this the other day. I'm gonna give some fresh perspective on this. The best way to get over perfectionism, I think, is a mental and a physical response. The mental response is you need to realize you're not perfect and you're never going to be perfect. Thus, you will never create perfection. Ken, no, come on, folks. There's nobody watching right now that thinks any of us is perfect. Nobody watching right now thinks that any of us will ever attain perfection. And you sure as heck know that we're not going to produce perfection. Can we produce excellence? Yes. Can we produce beauty? Yes. It's not perfect. Come on, folks. You just know that. All right? So let's get over our desire for perfection. I think that's a crutch. I think it's an excuse for procrastination. And I think people say, well, I'm trying for perfectionism. It's just because I'm so good, darn it. I'm just so, here, get to this camera over here. I want this camera. I want to zoom in for a second right here. This is where I want to be. There we go. Listen to me. Some of you out there are using this perfectionism as a crutch, and it's kind of this humble brag. Well, I'm just somebody who cares about everything being perfect, and because of that, it holds me up. Come on. Really? You don't really believe that. That's just what we say. All right? So I need to step on some toes on that. Stop with the nonsense. All right? That's the first thing. That's what I said. Like, we've got to have a mental approach. Then the physical approach is just start stepping into stuff that you're worried about being perfect. Start making it. Start doing it. Start trying it. And just embrace the suck. If you want to be excellent, then the only way to be excellent is to suck. I don't think people realize that. You do realize that? Like, that's just where it all starts. You have a very small percentage of the population that will pick up a task or a sport or an instrument, and they're just amazing because they're a phenom, they're a prodigy. Okay, we're not talking prodigies. But at the end of the day, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or anything else, you're going to have to suck first for excellence to even have a shot. So let's be okay with that. That's how we get over it. Alina writes in, what's the best marketing tip for growing a new service business? Again, who are you trying to serve? Who are they? Let's get really clear. In my service, this is my target audience. Okay? Get target audience first. That kind of gives us kind of a range. Now let's drill deeper in the target audience and go, who is the ideal customer? Let's get really clear on the ideal customer. Think of their pain point. What pain or problem do they have that you're going, my service solves that? This is the exercise first. Okay? Now, once we know those things, those basics, we go, where are those people congregating? Online, in real life. Simple questions I'm giving you. Okay? Once we get the answer to that question, we go, oh, that's where they are. How do I get their eyeballs? How do I get their attention? Okay, so you got your word of mouth. You're going to have your online marketing, direct marketing. You start to figure it out from there. So that's the process on how you, again, pitch a service. But some people get all hung up on a lot of what I just shared, and you forget you got to really do the hard work to go, what's their pain point? And how does my service solve or fix that? That's going to inform the way I talk about it. You can do all of the marketing where they are, the online presence and their physical presence, but if you don't catch their attention where they go, ooh, and so it's almost like your marketing has to reveal their pain and your solution in the same interaction. Boom, boom. It's got to be instant. Oh, yes. Oh, I have that pain. Oh, you can help with that pain? Oh, I'm interested. That's the process. That's how that works. Vintage Ghost writes in, how do you quickly adapt to big changes at work, especially when they come out of left field from the boss? Ooh, good question. Really good question. This is all about attitude, okay? Boss comes at you, it's just completely out of left field, almost knocks you completely off your feet, right? Whoa, hello, where'd this come from? Really? What? What's going on? And adaptability is huge because there are times where bosses will do this and it's not the right change, but you still have to adapt with it. And then we're going to see how it shakes out. And at which point the boss hopefully realizes, wow, this wasn't the right move, but you know what? You had a great attitude. You had humility. You were loyal. You jumped in. You did the best you could. I'm sorry, it wasn't the right move, or this was kind of crazy. I didn't plan for this. I wasn't the leader I should be. And so the market or, the pandemic produced this wacky forced change, And because I wasn't ready for it, we had to do this, but you stepped in anyway. So you want to adapt with a great attitude. You step in and you go, okay, I'm a part of the team. If you want to be there, then you have to step up, roll your sleeves up, and adapt and do your best to step in and help out. And that's what you do. And if it's all the time coming at you like this and it never stops, then we have an organizational health problem. And so in that situation, you go, okay, I'm not going to keep doing this. But if it's every once in a while or it's one time and you're in the middle of it, just adapt. Adapt. And you'll be better for it regardless of how it plays out, I promise. 844-747-2577. All right, Joe, let's do a little Momentum Monday update. Janelle writes in, hey, Ken, I used your interview guide, How to Win the Interview Guide, and I studied it, and I followed the steps to leverage my connections and to ask intelligent questions. I landed a great job in December, and the new job is a role that I've been aspiring to, and the starting salary is nearly double my previous job. Way to go, Janelle. How about that? Doubling the old income, Joe. Don't mess with Janelle. By the way, the How to Win the Interview Guide is free, all caps. There it is. So just going to say that Janelle took that free guide and doubled her salary. I'm going to have to talk to the team. Maybe I should start charging for that stuff. I don't know. Graham writes in, I recently wrote in about having an interview for the dream job after following Ken's steps. And and he got it. The company's going to help him get the qualifications he needs while he works to earn wages and get registered. He started the journey 6 months ago and left his job because of so he started this journey here at the Ken Coleman Show after having anxiety and poor leadership in his previous organization. So he is on his way. Way to go, Graham. And then Rena, she said, Ken, I just want to let you know I finally found my purpose. All these years later, it hit me on Christmas Day. I'm so excited, and I'm really nervous about my new venture, but I can't wait to bring it to life. That's so awesome. Way to go, Rena. And it's fun. She sent a picture on Instagram, at Ken Coleman, if you want to follow me on Instagram, DMs. I do jump in the DMs and try to answer as many as I can. I can't get all of them, so don't get your feelings hurt. But just the look on her face, I'm looking at this picture, and I didn't get permission to show it, so I'm not going to show it. I want to respect you people. But Joe, she's just got the sweetest, calmest smile on her face, you know? And that's what this is all about. I love it. 844-747-2577. All right, here we go. So we get a lot of calls and a lot of emails, a lot of social media questions about, hey, Ken, I'm looking at moving to a new company to pursue my passion and my purpose. And I'm in a good company now. And I'm really nervous that that if I take this, what if it's a really bad company and I'm miserable? I'm really happy where I am. Or same question, they'll go, I'm getting ready to move and I've been in an unhealthy culture. I sure as heck don't want to step from one unhealthy culture into another. So those are the two buckets by which we get this question of how can I determine whether or not this company I'm looking at is a good place to work, healthy culture. And it's a great question. It's very important. And I always tell them, I want to give you the practical answer to that. And then I'm telling you some more things. I've just been working through this content, what you're looking for. Here's how you look for it. Be careful about online resources. Make sure you're getting, a lot of different feedback. You don't want to just go to a Glassdoor or something and just see all the squeaky wheels that left the company, because you might get a completely false perception. Some of that might be good. Just weigh it. But you want to actually talk to people that know somebody over there that's currently working there. And let's see if we can find a minimum 3 to 5 contacts where you'll either know them directly or somebody knows them and they'll say, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll email you. I'll text you about what our company's like. I want people that are in the building. And again, let's get a minimum 3 to 5 forms of feedback, because we're going to have some negative and we're going to have some really positive, and maybe we have some and let's see how much we got in the bucket. Let's dump it all out and go, okay, this is good. All right. Now, here's the type of things you're looking for. Okay. They're called the 3 R's of healthy companies. The first R is, and I don't know if, did I give you these guys in order? I did. Which is the first one? I don't want to mess up their graphics. Okay, good. Resources. Resources. What do I mean by resources? So you want to go, does this company or these companies I'm looking at, do they offer resources to their team? Now, there's a lot of resources, so let me give you the biggies you're looking for. Do they offer resources to develop you? These are things like they offer reimbursement for continuing education or certifications and training. They'll pay for you to go to conferences and things like that to get better. They invest in mental and emotional health. Now, Ramsey does all 3 of those. If somebody's struggling here, our company, we have a way to help people if they need counseling for mental or emotional health. If things are going crazy in their personal lives, we know it's affecting their professional performance. So we want to help them. That's investing in them personally or even getting them help with their family. So what do they do when it comes to resources that develop you, help you get better as it relates to growth, or help you get better as it relates to healing? That's what I mean by resources. That's huge. Companies are going to have to increasingly invest in not just the growth, but the healing part of this, mental and emotional health. Because if you got great people and they're struggling and hurting personally, it's going to affect their professional performance. So it's money well spent. So that's resources. Next, we're going to look at rewards or recognition. Recognition, great. Sorry, folks, I didn't check with the graphics team, so that's fine. Just don't want to mess you all up. You guys do such good work. So recognition is next. Now, what do I mean by recognition? So we know from multiple HR studies, and I've shared this information before on this program, that people have said that they would rather receive public recognition, okay, more than they would a raise. Everybody, man or woman, is still a little boy or a little girl that wants to know, do you notice me? Do I matter to you? And so there's 2 types of recognition here. And this is for leaders. And this is for you who are followers. What does recognition really mean? It's that personal and private recognition. Your leader's calling you in on a regular basis. Hey, you're doing a good job. Or just walking by your desk going, hey, I saw what you did the other day, heard some great things about it. Just passing on other people's recognition of you. And then there's the public recognition, right? In talking about you in front of the full team or the entire company, and recognizing you. It's the attaboy, attagirl, pat on the back, okay? And then the last one is rewards. Now, there are financial rewards, obviously, in the forms of incentive plans and bonuses and commissions and all that, where you get a piece of what you're producing. And we all understand that. But I'm also talking about a different reward, which is kind of more in the recognition side of things, where it's like, hey, you have been killing, you're doing a great job, going to give you some extra days off this year. Or we're going to send you and your spouse on a trip. Those kind of rewards are, I know one time recently, the company here just gave me a reward. They said, hey, we know you love spending time with your kids. And they gave me tickets to something where me and my kids went and had a daddy day. It was phenomenal. It was just a reward. So where the company spent their money, it wasn't a financial benefit to me, but it was a personal and a family benefit. And so that's what I mean. And so look for companies that actively do that. They're serious about resources and recognition and rewards. When you see a company doing any of those 3 things or all 3, you know you are in an intentional culture. And while no company's perfect, that's a healthy culture. That's what you're looking for. And for those of you leaders who watch this program, that's what you need to be doing. What are you doing with the 3 R's? That's how you attract and keep really great people. All right, my time is almost up. But before I let you go, remember, you matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.